और बेटा आज रिजल्ट निकलने वाले थे ना, कैसा हुआ बताओ बताओ।
सारा दिन मोबाइल में बैठा रहता है, पढ़ाई तो करनी ही नहीं है तुम्हें।
ये क्या पढ़ाई हुई? ये करने भेजा था ट्यूशन?
Not using your full potential.
नंबर दोगे तब तो पढ़ाई होगी। ट्यूशन के नाम पे घूमने जाते हो क्या?
टेंशन सबका अटेंशन, दोस्त हो या अंकल करते हैं मेंशन। कैन डू बेटर, कैन डू बेटर, कैन डू बेटर, कैन डू बेटर, कैन डू बेटर सब बोलते हैं, फ्री में तो मुंह अपना सब खोलते हैं। दुनिया तो कहती है आगे बढ़ो, पर कैसे करें ये सब सोचते हैं। पढ़ता ही रहता था मैं आंख अपनी खोल के और याद करता था चीजों को 10 बार बोल के। नकली सी किताबें जिसने ज्ञान सारा छोड़ के सिखाया मुझको आगे बढ़ना असलियत को मोड़ के। आजा मिलके मचाते हैं, आजा तुझको पढ़ाते हैं, कुछ करके दिखाते हैं, आजा मिलके मचाते हैं। बस पढ़ना नहीं, 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 समझना भी है, सिर्फ समझना नहीं बरतना भी है। पढ़ने का मतलब सिर्फ रटना नहीं, रटे बिना मार्क्स लाना भी है। विल डू बेटर अब करते हैं, सारी जिम्मेदारी हम लेते हैं, सिर्फ बेटर नहीं अब बनोगे बेस्ट, फुल गारंटी हम देते हैं। आजा मिलके मचाते हैं, आजा तुझको पढ़ाते हैं, कुछ करके दिखाते हैं, आजा मिलके मचाते हैं, आजा मिलके मचाते हैं, आजा तुझको पढ़ाते हैं, कुछ करके दिखाते हैं, आजा मिलके मचाते हैं।
तब तो पढ़ाई होगी। ट्यूशन के नाम पे घूमने जाते हो क्या?
Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to the session. This is Sweta Mam, your English master teacher at Vedantu. Hope all of you are doing well. So guys, welcome to Prodigy series and welcome to the session where we will be dealing with a beautiful chapter, Footprints Without Feet. The moment you read the title of this particular chapter, Footprints Without Feet, aren't you people amazed at the title? Aren't you people curious? Doesn't the title arouse your curiosity regarding how can I see footprints but not the feet? Isn't it quite surprising? So let us delve into the chapter and find out the answer to the title of the story. Okay, so guys, this is written by H.G. Wells. Now, you must have come across the novel of H.G. Wells. He usually writes scientific fiction, sci-fis. So you must have come across Time Machine, Invisible Man, right? So Footprints Without Feet is actually an extract from his novel Invisible Man. Okay, so guys, let's delve into the very interesting session where we will be dealing with a man who can become invisible. Isn't that very amazing and interesting? So let's get into it, guys. Those of you who do not know me, I am your English master teacher, Sweta Mam. I have pursued my masters in English and B.Ed. I have more than a year of teaching experience, and I have also qualified, seated and mentored more than 20,000 students, both online and offline. So guys, my motto is to unleash the power within you. Yes, because literature and language gives you the power to ideate, to create and to innovate. Yes? Don't you think so, guys? So if you do agree with me, please type in the chat box that you are empowered. Everyone, do type in the chat box. Yes, guys, I want you to feel that power and express to the fullest in the session, giving your inputs, giving your opinions in each of the topics that we discuss and each of the issue that we discuss in the session today. Would you promise that, guys? Yes. So quickly have a look at the weekly schedule. Okay? If you have missed any of the session, guys, do go ahead and watch that, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Okay? So guys, we will be beginning with word of the day given by Anushri. A big round of applause for Anushri. She has given us the word enigma, which means something that is mysterious and seems impossible to understand completely, right? It's a noun, and the example that she has given is she is something of an enigma. So now you can use this word. I am sure you have got a new word in your vocab, and you can use this in your own way, in your own sentences. Yes? Now, what is the word that you would suggest for the next session? Please post your word of the day at the end in the comment section. Don't forget that. And now, homework rockers. So, rocking people, very well done. Uday, Vani, Lakshya, Irene, Kriti, Shaju, Shankar, Bhavya, Siddhi, Abhay, Jenny, very, very well done, people. These are our homework rockers. So, guys, you can also be the chance, you can also get the chance of becoming the next homework rocker. What you need to do is just post your answers for the homework question in the comment section, and you will be our next homework rocker. Okay? So, don't forget to do that, guys. And now, before starting, did you guys hit the like button? Make sure you do hit the like button, share the video amongst your friends, and do subscribe to the channel. Okay, so that you do not miss out on any important notification. And we will be coming up with super interesting sessions for all of you guys. And I have a super interesting riddle for all. So please try and find the answer out for this particular riddle. We will discuss this at the end of the session. The more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I? Think about it. Okay. And now we will be starting with the session, with the chapter. Now, H.G. Wells, as I told you, he was an English novelist, journalist, sociologist, and an historian. He's best known for his scientific novels. I already gave you two. One is The Time Machine, and one is also The Invisible Man. So, Invisible Man is basically the novel from where this extract has been taken, right? And with his first novel was The Time Machine, which was very, very successful. Immediately it became successful. And from that success, he started to begin his series of scientific novels, right? So now let's begin with the chapter. Now, before beginning with the story, I want you to think about these points. The first point is, from the name or from the title, what do you think? What can the story be about? Any inputs, any suggestions? Let's do a bit of brainstorming and put it in the chat, everyone. The second question that you need to think about is, can a man become invisible? Think about it, guys. So, this is a story of a scientist who discovers how he can become invisible. Now, before moving ahead, let me ask you guys, if you have watched Mr. India, even if you have not watched, you must have heard about it, right? The famous movie, Bollywood movie, Mr. India, starring Anil Kapoor and Sri Devi. So, in that movie also, Mr. India, Kayab, right? Mr. India is invisible. He actually gets the formula to become invisible, right? So let us see if the scientist we are talking about in this particular chapter is similar to Mr. India, or is there a difference between the two? Okay? Now guys, scientific knowledge, or if somebody is a scientist, he has great powers, right? Science has great powers. But if you misuse it, it could actually lead to the destruction of the complete mass. In grade 9th, you have seen A Truly Beautiful Mind was a chapter where you dealt with Albert Einstein, the great scientist. And you saw how he warned America against the atom bomb, the discovery of atom bomb, which could destroy masses. And it did. When America dropped atom bomb in the two cities of Japan, Nagasaki and Hiroshima, it caused huge destruction. So that is how the scientific power, which is actually meant for the society, for advancing human civilization, was misused and caused great destruction. So now the question is, did Griffin, who is the main character in this particular story, use his discovery for the benefit of the society, or did he misuse it? Let's find that out, guys. And the story is a part of H.G. Wells's famous novel, The Invisible Man. Okay, super excited. So before starting off the session, I would ask you one question. Please put it down in the chat. The question is, if you become invisible, what would you do? Please let me know in the chat box right now. What would you do if you become invisible? Let me see what is your opinion right now at the beginning of the story, and then I will ask you again at the end of the story, and we will see, does your opinion change or does it remain the same? If it changes, then what made that change? Okay? So let me know, everyone in the chat, what would you do if you become invisible? Okay, keep posting, guys, and this is how the session flow looks like. We would be beginning with a quick summary, followed by vocab, quiz questions, and homework question. So guys, quick summary of the chapter. Let's go ahead. As I told you, our main character is Griffin, and he is a scientist. Now, he was a brilliant scientist. What did he do? He discovered a rare drug, okay? Now, this rare drug could make a person invisible. All right, guys, just like Mr. India. Now, what does he do with this power? So, obviously, he has got intelligence, and intelligence is a very good weapon, right? But does he use this weapon for the benefit of the society? Let's find that out. So, what happens is his landlord did not like him. He wanted him to evacuate the house. So, what did Griffin do? Griffin avenged his landlord by burning his house, by putting his house to fire, by setting his house to fire. Okay. He swallows the drug and, he becomes invisible. He puts the house to fire and he becomes invisible and he goes off, runs away. Now, in order to become invisible, obviously, he had to remove his clothes. But it was midwinter and at that point of time, it was biting cold. So obviously, he felt the need for clothes and he realized that he had selected the wrong time for the experiment, right? So what did he do in order to get warmth? He slipped inside a clothing shelter and he had a gala time over there, had all sorts of meals, and he was also sleeping, also dressed him up, okay? Dressed himself up, and then he slept very comfortably in his quilt. Okay, and then in the next morning, 2 attendants came chasing him in the morning, right? And then again he had to become invisible to escape. So now what happened? What was the problem with him? The problem that he faced was he had, if he had clothes on his body, he would become invisible. He would become visible, but the face would still remain invisible. So just imagine if somebody is standing in front of you without face. So he would actually be a faceless man, right? So how would you feel? You would definitely feel surprised, shocked, and terrified. So obviously, if he would be roaming around in that state in the streets of London, then that would arouse people's curiosity, that would terrify people, right? So he had to also do something about the face and this part, right, which was not visible. I mean, he had to get some clothing or something like that in order to make that part also visible, so that he could become visible and invisible according to his own desire. So what did he do? He went to a theatrical company and he bought all sorts of, makeup items like bandages to wrap up his face, side whiskers, hat, all of that, right? And then he caught a train. He took a train to Iping village so that he moves away from the crowd. So as because his appearance was strange. He was having bandages all over his face. So definitely he had a very strange appearance. So he did not want to arouse the curiosity of the people. So he planned to move out of the crowd. So he went to the village called 𝐈𝐽𝐻. Okay, but obviously the money that he had looted did not last long. So therefore, he also steals from the clergyman's desk to pay the rent. Okay, so suddenly the clergyman heard the chink of money taken away from his desk, but he and his wife could not find any person. So they could just hear the noise, but did not fail to discover who actually did so. So that was the strange incident that happened that day in the village 𝐈𝐽𝐻. So from here also you could get lots and lots of questions. What was the strange incident? And then he paid ready cash. So initially he had said that he had lost, he had exhausted his cash. So therefore, suddenly when he came with ready cash, whereas he had initially said that he had exhausted all his cash, so then obviously people started to suspect him. And Mr. and Mrs. Hall, they were the owners of 𝐈𝐽𝐻 village, right? So Mrs. Hall finds the room of the scientist open and she went to investigate, right? But the moment she went into the room, everything started, the furniture became live, okay? And then a hat springs up and hits her face, so it dashes against her face. Furniture also started moving, and finally she was thrown away, but she could not see anyone. Okay, so she was thrown away, and somebody banged the door and locked it, right? So the chair, see, the chair becomes alive, and it definitely forced Mr. and Mrs. Hall out of the room. So these were, again, this is another incident which happened with Mr. and Mrs. Hall, which is very important for your exam. Okay, now we have a question for you people. So let's see how many of you can answer this. Pick the sentence that brings out the meaning of hysterics as used in the chapter. My friend and I were in splits when we saw the clown's antics. I don't know why I suddenly felt worried about flying home. The sight of blood put the old man in a frenzy. The people who had witnessed the accident were spellbound. So what do you think, guys? Which is the sentence which brings out correctly the meaning of hysterics as used in the chapter? Hysteria. Okay, so which sentence? What do you think? 3, 2, 1, let's have a look. So this is frenzy. Frenzy is actually madness, right? So madness and hysteria, they are all the same. So hysterics and frenzy, they are almost synonymous to each other. Okay? It is not splits, okay? Neither it is worried nor it is spellbound. It is frenzy. Frenzy is mad. Okay, so therefore C would be your correct answer. So please note down. This is a very important question from the point of view of vocabulary, because Mrs. Hall also went in hysteria. So because she became mad when she actually had to go through all of these strange incidents, right, guys? So now, suddenly, remember in the room, Mr. and Mrs. Hall could find no one, but suddenly Griffin appears from nowhere. Okay, so now you think about this question. The neighbors thought it was witchcraft. This tells that the neighbors were suspicious, superstitious, nervous, or gossip mongers. What do you think, guys? They thought that it was witchcraft. So what do you think? What does it suggest about the characteristic feature of the neighbors? Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's see. Yes, they were superstitious. Witchcraft, believing in witchcraft is obviously a kind of superstition. Right, guys? So then, Mrs. and Mr. Hall, they charge at the strange guest. Obviously, the strange guest was Griffin over here. They start inquiring about the theft. And this made Griffin very angry because Griffin already had an irritable temper. Okay, he was very short-tempered. You can also see from the point, from the fact that he had burned his his landlord's house only because his landlord did not like him and wanted to move him out of the house. So just because of that, he had burned down his house. He had set his house on fire, and also he always avoided the friendly gestures of Mrs. Hall, right? So definitely he had a very short temper. He was very irritable. He had a very irritable nature. So he got very angry. And then let me have a look at the answer to this question. Look at the different meanings of haunt. Pick the option that does not correspond to its meaning. Okay? Does not correspond. So odd one out. Okay? To be cautious of a strange phenomenon, to be persistently and be persistently and disturbingly present in mind, of something unpleasant, continue to affect or cause problems, a place frequented by a specific person. So which is not the correct meaning? Like, look at, haunt has different meanings, right? So which is not? Pick up the option that does not correspond to its meaning. What do you think? Can we have a look, guys? Have you all posted your answer? This is again a test of your vocab. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's see. To be conscious of a strange phenomena. That is not the correct meaning of haunt. Haunt could be, you are terrified of something. So something is disturbing constantly in your mind. So you are haunted by, let's say, the memories of a very strange incident or something like that. Or a place which is frequently visited. So we say, right, that this place was haunted by XYZ, right? So a place which is frequently visited, for this also we use haunt, right? And obviously something unpleasant, okay, that is causing problems. So just like, Mrs. Hall. So these three are the correct meanings of haunt, but not the first one. So how many of you have got all the answers correct? Give me a quick high five in the chat right now. Okay, so now let's move ahead with the move ahead with the story. So what does he do finally when he got very, very angry? He starts to remove all the bandages and false nose, whatever he had on his face. And now a headless man was standing in front of the people, right? So Mr. Japers was the constable who was actually called, but when there was a tussle between Mr. Japers and this man, Griffin, obviously, poor Japers, he was receiving invisible blows, fists. He could not even see the man because Griffin had completely become invisible now, right? So he is finally wounded by the invisible scientist and the scientist escapes. Okay, so that was the story. I hope you did enjoy the story, but we also need to look at the moral lesson of the story, right? So guys, you can see that Griffin is the main character and we have lots and lots of supporting characters like Mrs. Hall's Japers, Mr. and Mrs. Hall's Japers, then the clergyman and his wife, right? So what is the theme of the story, guys? Definitely, the theme is the tendency of human nature to misuse creative discoveries meant for common good. So if we discover something, if there's a scientist, most of you, here we will have lots and lots of talented students who would be moving ahead in their career in different fields. So you need to remember that whatever you discover, whichever field you go, the common goal should be the benefit of the society, right? Not to misuse your intellect, your power. Wherever you go, whichever field you select, okay, people are empowered because your intelligence, your potential, your creativity, everything is your power. But you need to use the power for the benefit of mankind so that the civilization advances. Right, guys? Do you agree with me or not? So, if let's say you become a scientist, do not become like Griffin, right? Follow the footsteps of the other great scientists like obviously truly beautiful mind. You did that, right? So Albert Einstein. So follow the footsteps of these great scientists. Okay. So guys, even your brilliance, okay, when it is used against the society, it could actually turn you to a lawless person, into a lawless person. It could be a threat for the society. All of you are brilliant over here. So when you grow up, I mean, when you move ahead in your life, in the long run, when you choose your career, make sure that you work in the favor of the society and not against it. So you have to contribute to the well-being of the society, right? So in the story, it is Griffin, a scientist who misuses the power and becomes a threat to the society. So this is the lesson for all of us, not to become like Griffin. Yes, do you agree with me? So now we have another question that is match the following, and this is the final question. We will then move ahead with the homework question. ठीक है बच्चा भाड़ी? So come on guys, tell me. Can you match the following? I want to know what you have been doing to my chair upstairs. My reason for coming to IPing is a desire for solitude. Which statement is spoken by Griffin and which is by Mrs. Hall? What do you think, guys? Okay, can we have your answers in the chat? ठीक है. 3, 2, 1, yes. So guys, this is spoken by Griffin and this one is by Mrs. Hall. How many of you got it correct? Give me a quick high five. Superb, 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 mind-blowing, guys. So before I show you the homework question and give you the answer to the riddle, I have a very happy announcement to make, guys, about Vedantu's NTSE subscription. So Vedantu launches India's first live NTSE crash course, right? So mathematics, physics, chemistry, bio, math and social studies. These are the subjects that you would be offered. And 139 selections in NTSE 2020 to 21 and still counting. And this is the highest selection from any institute. So let's give it up for our rock stars. So guys, in Vedantu's NTSE subscription, you would be getting more than 60 hours of live classes on entire syllabus, both stage 1 and stage 2, 50 plus chapter wise and 14 plus mock tests to make you test ready, and classes taught live will be recorded and it would be made available to watch anytime. You can ask unlimited doubts inside the class and also on Vedantu's app post class. So not just in class doubt solving but also post class. Plus you would get in-depth solution and analysis of the previous NTSE papers, and of course you would get summary notes for all the topics, key concepts, important formula and the class recording. Make sure you don't forget to use the coupon code SWREPRO in order to get a complete 10% discount. Okay guys, so now we would be quickly looking at the vocabulary because this is an area where you need to develop. But before that, let me quickly show you the enrollment process. ठीक है? Array. Sorry. So this is, let's say, the session. ठीक है? So you just need to click on this link, right? And let's say select your class. So let's say you select grade 10. Now you can see over here NTSE 2021 crash course, right? So click on that and you will see that we have two types of plans, light and classic. Okay, what would you get, guys? You would get detailed course with a well-planned study schedule, live interactive classes, test series, assignments, doubt solving, and during the class and mobile app and on mobile app as well. Okay, so guys, this is the course fee. Okay, you can buy the complete course. Okay, and just use this code and you will get a complete 10% discount. Already guys, there's a 60% off going on. Isn't that amazing? So here for the classic, you can have 4,500. That is, you have full 55% off, guys. You can actually buy the full course at this price, and you can use the coupon code SWRE Pro. That's the coupon code, and all the details are over here. You can actually check the frequently asked questions and you would find all the details mentioned here. So definitely guys, go ahead and make sure you use this opportunity to the fullest. Okay, now guys, look at the vocabulary. Please do not miss out this portion, guys. The important okay, gazed is look at steadily and intently, right? So from these vocabulary words, I mean these words, you can be asked lots and lots of MCQ questions, so please take a note. Then you have bewildered. Bewildered is perplexed or confused or puzzled. Okay. Eject is compel someone to leave a place. The landlord was trying to eject griffins, right? And then whiskers, you know, mustache, right? Callously, it means insensitive and cruel disregard. Okay, so this word is also important. Poker is a metal rod with a handle. Okay, over here. Grasp is seize and hold firmly. Okay, then leapt is jump or, you know, jumping basically. Okay, hysterics is a very important word over here. A wildly emotional and exaggerated reaction, a very important word. Okay? So all these words are very important. The ones which I underlined, please pay attention to specifically those words. Do not miss them. Okay? So I hope you people did enjoy the session. If you did, then don't forget to hit the like button, share the video amongst your friends, and do subscribe to the channel. And there you go with the homework question. How would you assess Griffin as a scientist and as a human being? What qualities or values would you suggest will make him a better person? Very important question. I want your inputs for this homework question in the comment section. Also, do let me know in the comment section, if you become invisible, what would you do? Okay, let me see your creative answers in the comment section, guys. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Take care. Bye-bye. See you very soon.